and gentlemen, the legendary one of one, Chief Mrs. Nike Okundaye. Hello, Mama.
How are you?
I'm very well, Ma. First off, I need to ask, how are you?
Fine, I'm fine.
This is your signature look. Every time you see Mama, she looks glamorous. She looks really
Beautiful. And her gele is one thing that just stands out. Mommy, what is the idea behind this gele? Why do you always have your gele on?
Well, the gele, Professor Wale Soyinka actually call it gele gala. Gele is the head tie of African women all over the world, and it's our crown. Just like our beautiful hair, when we make our beautiful hair, that is our crown. So the gele, even you know, Lagwaja also make gele as a song. Before you are married, as a young girl, they wear you gele. They are teaching you that you are going to be covering your beautiful hair, but if you are not wearing your beautiful hair, you have to wear gele. So gele is our crown.
I don't have my crown on. I don't have
it. Your hair.
Oh, okay.
Your hair is your crown.
Of course. And this beautiful wear is from her. Her beautiful wear. Ma, you look very beautiful. I must say that.
Thank you.
Now let's ask, what was childhood like?
Oh my God. Actually, I was born into poverty. My mother died when I was 6 years old, and my grandmother died when I was 7 years old, and my great-grandmother raised me. The way they pass education to kids in those days, you teach your child what you do, and that is how they were passing the knowledge of textile to me right from the age of 6. And my father is an artist. My mother is also a dyer. My great-grandmother is a weaver. So it's generation to
kept passing it on and passing it on. All right. What does success mean to you?
Success is means a lot. Before you can be successful, you need that patience. And the patience is what everybody needs to be able to live long in the world. Without patience, you cannot do anything. And that is what takes you to success.
Would like to know, what is the one thing that you regret in your youth days? That one regret you have, that when I was younger, I wish I didn't do this, or I wish I did this. What's that one regret?
Well, it's that education, which I never have. But actually, every minute of my life, I thank God that even though I don't have the education, I have the education from my parents. But I want to tell every child, their education is their property. They must always have that education because it's very, very important.
Well, I dare say that even most educated people are not as successful as you are. So this cultural and traditional education you have is top-notch. And you're not educated, but you speak so well. You speak too well. You owe this to your parents too?
Yes, because I carry water, carry firewood before I can have primary 6 education. We always say, oh, we wish we are with Awolowo, which is Western Nigeria, where you have the education free in those days, but you pay school fees. So I work hard to be able to, yes, the free thing are not, no, but 1960 is my first time to eat rice when Nigeria became independent. So I was so happy I was able to eat rice. This rice that everybody turned to food now.
We eat every time.
Yes. Before, when the child is crying, they will say, don't cry, I will give you rice. So 1960 is when I eat my first rice. I was so happy. I was in Ajowa, Awolowo school. So they give us rice and meat. I eat my first loaf of meat like this.
So the first time you ever had meat and ever had rice was in 1960?
Yes.
How old were you then?
By then I was 9 years old.
Wow, so the first time you tasted rice and meat, you were 9 years old.
And the first time I will wear my flip-flop is 1966. They always say, Batamiadu ko ka, timbamo we me, Batamiadu ko. But no shoe. I know my book, but I don't have money to buy the shoe.
So what were you wearing?
In those days, the result of education is shoe. But now it's computer, car, gadget, all these properties.
Wow.
Yes.
Now,
I want to ask you a question. Looking at the ladies of these days and, ladies of when you were younger, nowadays they say it is hard to see a virgin. At what age do you think it's proper for a lady to be deflowered?
I will say now, maybe at the age of 25. But in those days, they just marry you young out. But you don't even need to be deflowered before you deflower yourself now. There is so much.
I'd like to know about that.
Yes, because the women are educated now. They know what to do to make themselves happy. And if you are really ugubugu up to 25, they will say, I want an experienced woman. They want an experienced woman who know how to do everything without even going to sleep with different men.
And how is that possible? Because I think men of these days are putting too much pressure on the women. How is that? How are you supposed to know all how to please a man?
without even being with him.
That is why you have the social media. Education means a lot. And that education, you read. You even read how to do your period. Mm-hmm. So the first period that come in those days, they have to tell us how to go take rag, tie it, and now you have tampon, you have pad, you have sanitary, all those things. We don't have it during our own time. So we thank God that education has changed everything.
And technology.
Women banking in those days, you cannot put your whole money in your bank. You have to put it with your husband.
Wow.
So then if your husband have master degree, you are not allowed to have master. You have to have bachelor because you cannot be the same standard with your husband.
Those days.
In those days. But now, this is the world of women. I'm so happy. On my own lifetime, you can go and browse. You can have your computer. This is a great achievement in our own lifetime for our daughters.
It's true, it's true. Now, speaking of husbands, how did you meet your first husband?
Well, my first husband is a musician and he's also an artist. And for me to be able to continue to do my art in those days, you have to marry to an artist. Because the men who want to marry you, they don't want to marry you because you are an artist. They will say, no, artist is, I'm hungry, you want to be doing all this rubbish work? So, but now, I actually married him because he's an artist and because he's my Ogidi. You cannot say no.
Why did you part ways?
I run away from my father when my father wanted to marry me up at the age of 14. So I have to run to my mother's sister in Oshogo. And that is how he is the one who come to take us to my mother's sister. So little by little, I become a manager in his studio. And that is how the marriage come about. When we say marriage, not like going to church. They just pay your dowry, and then you become a wife. Or you have a baby, then you become a wife. Not like now that you have to do traditional marriage, you have to do all this marriage. So,
what are your views on divorce? What do you think about divorce?
Oh my God, the divorce of now is too much. You know, when they will say, oh, I see my husband, I see some telephone. If you have only telephone, if he hasn't bring the woman to your eye, you will bring him closer. Why do you want to divorce? Another person will take over. So what you do in those days, you manage your marriage. There is no perfect marriage. A lot of people, they will say, oh, I cannot take that. But they take more than that. So they will tell you, oh, if I ever hear that my husband even talk to somebody. But some of them are just school friends. They have no relationship with your husband. So I will say people should not just be divorcing without proper evidence. But if there is violence in the marriage, I will not say stay there. But if there is no violence, So you find out properly before you divorce. Please keep your husband if you have a good husband. Like me now, they always say if a woman does not try 2 or 3 husbands, he doesn't know the best. So we people who have tried, we know that when you get the good one, don't let it go.
But what was your reason for leaving the first husband?
Yeah, 15 wives. And after 15 years, I started to see life through art, and I was able to walk better without being under control. So that is what made me divorce the first one. We are 15 wives married to one person.
Wow. Now let's go on a short break. We'll still come back and hear the beautiful stories from Mama herself. And sitting right here is Mama in all of her glory again. Now look at the head tie. She's changed this. See, this woman, I told you, Mama is just an icon, a legendary, a beauty to behold. She is fashion herself. Mommy, I love this.
Thank you.
This is Adire, right?
Yes.
With the beads on it.
Yes. And these beads are recycled from turning trash to treasure, from turning waste to wealth. They are all from bottled water, recycled from pure water sachet is what we use to make all these beads.
Wow.
Including the one on the head tie.
Creative and excellent, saving nature.
Yes. Instead of the something gluing all the gutter together,
Exactly.
they turn it to treasure.
Exactly. So, Mommy, looking at the youths of today, what are they doing
Differently, that you feel like when you were a youth, you wouldn't have done it. What is it that's different about the way the youth operate that you like or you don't like?
Yeah, during the youth of now, what I will say they are doing that we are not doing it during our own time is they have 3 seasons, the youth of now. The 4th season is when they are still young, under 10 years. They will say, Amaka, sit down there. They will sit down. Yes, Mama. Where do you go? Yes, sir, I'm just coming here. That is young. Then when the 2nd season, so they change totally because of the social media. Then you say, oh, my daughter, why do you go out late? They will say, sorry, oh, Mama, I have to be at my friend's birthday party. Then if it's a man, he will say, you know, Mama, I'm on my way to Dubai. Then you look at, in those days, you will plan it and tell your parents. Your parents will put it in prayer. They will say, this is my daughter that is traveling. They should appease the God and goddess. Then the 3rd season is when they will be in charge of their life and in charge of your own life. By then, Mama has become young again. You know, you can never be young forever. So you now grow older. Then they are the one in control of your life. They will say, Mama will say, I want to eat pounded yam. They will say, yes, there is no pounded yam now, but we have. So Mama will say, okay, take me to where I can get pounded yam. They will say, enter the car. If we just pray for the good, kind children, that is the thing we are praying for the youth of today. But during our own time, you are the one who is going to look after your mother, your father, and that is why they have you. They have you. It's like a cycle of life. When a child is born, a child grows, a child becomes an adult. This same child you look after is the one coming back to look after you.
Yeah.
But things have changed. The change is the youth now. Mama, I'm sorry, you have to eat, I want to watch television. So you watch television. So he will say, oh, I'm sorry, I have to listen to news. But your mama want to watch African Magic.
So now it feels like now
Yes.
they feel like they are one controlling their parents now.
Under your control. You are under their control. That is the 3rd season. You are under their control and they are control of their life. Like before, they still, yes, ma. They kneel down to greet you. They do everything. Mama, let me wash your clothes. No, washing machine is there. So that is the difference.
That's true.
So, Mommy, you're a very strong, powerful, beautiful, successful woman. And I'm sure that men would want to be with you. Men would want to, even though they know you're married, they will still come. How have you been able to handle them?
Well, I always, immediately, I actually divide my time into three. One for my work, one for my family, and one for my center. Immediately I see that this one have interest in me, I will say, I'm sorry, I'm married. I'm happily married. And my husband is also, my husband loves what I'm doing and so. Because it's one thing to marry to somebody who like what you are doing. You know, art in those days, it's not everybody that like art. They don't know art is like therapy, creativity. I remember one of our artists, he said the husband is doing bad day, and he was painting a picture to give to the husband. The husband said, I'm sick, I'm hungry, and you are painting rubbish. He took the painting, he tear it and throw it away, and that woman never paint again. So it's very hard to find somebody that you couple together, but you can manage it, even though if he doesn't like what you are doing, you will just use it with smile. My husband, this thing, let me leave this work, let me come and quickly do what. So that is it. You just have to manage your life and manage your work and manage your marriage. Everything, there is no perfect life, so you manage it.
At what age did you make your first million?
My first million was made in 1974 when I traveled to America. And the work I'm selling here for $2, which is like 100 naira. The work is 400, and we were in America for almost 3 months. So when I come back, we come back with almost 100 and something $1,000.
How old were you then?
By then I should be 20, because my first baby, I have him at 19. I was on my third pregnant. Yes. But before I make that million, I can hardly eat. So every time we have to fast. So they will say, why are we fasting? We say, oh, because there is 40 days fast. There is no food to eat. That is why we are fasting. So we call it awetiba wenle. They will put us in bribri. Bribri is you don't eat for 3 days. There is no food. That is why we are fasting. So that is life.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So how are you able to save? You know, this generation now, they would say, when you just have a little money, they'll call you that mama is sick. When you have a little money, they'll call you your uncle needs money. So how were you able to save up?
Well, you know, you have to plan for rainy season. And that is why you need to save up. I was making friends with those Oyibo who used to buy my work. And they will say, what do you do with your work? Then I say, I give it to my husband. They said, no, we can save it for you. When you now need this money, that money is your power. Yeah. So what I now do, I'm keeping half of my money in Lagos and take half to Osogbo. So that half I take to Osogbo is where I show my husband, this is what I make. He now say, you are not making money like before. I say, yes, you know, business is not like every day is not business. So little by little, I was able to save. I saved for 10 years and I built 3-bedroom. Wow. So after that 3-bedroom, I said, thank you, I had enough. So I have to move. And that is how I moved to my own house.
What is that thing that you used to do for your husband when you were younger that you cannot do anymore? Either because of age, because of time?
Well, you know, every woman have something special that they do for I still cook. I love cooking because when you want a man to marry you and you want to stay with your husband, you don't let him eat outside food. That your special food is what will be bringing him back. So I love cooking. And up till now, I wake up 5 o'clock to cook breakfast for my husband. I make the lunch he's going to eat, and I have made dinner already. So what I used to do before is maybe I was not able to travel by myself. By then why do you want to travel now? You have to stay. But now I can, if I get invitation tomorrow, I will just say, I'm sorry, I have to go to US. I have a lecture. So those are the things that I don't do before that I can do now.
Before we go on a short break, let me ask you, what's the greatest help you've ever received?
From the society or from, I will say the greatest help is coming from USA when they pick 10 people from Africa and there is no single woman. And then the African American, they say, they are coming to teach them. They want a woman to be in the group. So you know the person who introduced me, one woman who has come here and I cooked some egusi soup and pounded yam for her. He's the one who introduced my work to them at the American Museum of Natural History, where they are selling my work for $2, $3. So that is how I get the help. And he introduced me and they put me in, and that is my first breakthrough. I said, wow. Immediately I get to America, I see life through art. And I see art through life. I said, okay. So this work, if this work can take me to overseas and take me to a great height, why not teach my colleagues, my co-wife? And that is how, when I come back, I started teaching. That this work has carried me to America, let me also teach you. So it can also take you there.
Oh, that's
But you have a large heart. You have a large heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. And when we come back, we'll be asking Mama some very interesting questions. I'm sure you want to know about side chicks and all. Mama will tell us about it. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. We still have the legendary, the icon herself, the woman with a large heart. We still have her here. And Mama would like to ask, what is your take on side chicks?
Well, my take is for every woman who know that the husband have another person beside her to bring her husband closer, not to leave your home. Bring your husband closer and say, what are you getting from this young girl that I cannot give you? Tell me, I will do it for you. So that will bring the man back. It will be the one to even say, oh, my darling wife, I'm sorry, I'm cheating on you. Forgive me. Then whatever he said he liked, you do it for him. If he come to you and you say, I'm tired, leave me alone, he will go out. So we are their mothers. Immediately they marry you, you become their mother, their wife, and also they are your baby. You have to mother them, you have to be nice to them, and then they will also be nice to you. They will never be able to cheat once you just bring them closer, closer, closer. When I say closer, when he's upset, you are not going to be upset. When you are upset, he will not. You just have to manage that part. It's very difficult, but you will manage it. But don't ever leave your home. A woman that they just slap the girlfriend of the husband, and the woman get down and throw her down, and the woman die. You leave 3 children with no mother. The girl you don't want will come out and take over your house. Why? Because of temper. You will just calm. The men, they are our baby. Once you bring them closer, my darling, why are you going out? You can go play with your friend maybe for 2 or 3 hours, or we go out together. So they just want that little pet from you, because you know they cannot go to their mama who used to pet them. They cannot go to another person. So you have become their mother. So what their mother is doing for them, you will bring them, you should be able to give them the good food that they are getting. So all what they miss, you are going to be giving it to them.
What about women that fight their husband's girlfriends?
That one is temper that is worrying them. I will not say only jealousy, but when you see that you want to fight the girlfriend of your husband and you don't have the terminal, don't do it. I don't say if the man is abusive, I don't say stay there. But there is a limit of what you can do to bring the man back to yourself. Instead of fighting, when you fight him, he will run away. Don't fight him. Bring him closer. As I told you, you have to mother him. Yeah. He's your son. He's your baby. And also he's your husband. So you don't need to fight him. You don't need to fight the girl. It's your husband you will bring closer and pet him and tell him, what is that chick giving to you that I cannot give to you?
You're saying that don't leave your husband just because of cheating.
No. Some of them, they just do it to see whether you will get upset. And the girls coming from outside, they don't come with, they come with force. So they will say, you don't know the value of what you have. I always tell the ladies, when you get the best husband, please don't go. The people who have tasted 2 or 3 husbands, they are the ones who know the best. But they will not tell you. By the time you take the number 2, it's the same thing. All men are the same thing.
So don't leave your husband because of cheating.
No. Bring him closer and let him know that you still love him and the father of your baby. So if he cheats today, tomorrow he will be your best husband because you will tell him. He will tell you what make him run out. Maybe you don't allow him to do that thing. Yes, some men, it's like their own exercise. So, so you let him do it. So he will not go and look for another place.
All right. I hope women are taking notes. I'm sure they're taking notes. You can hear from Mama. Do not leave your husband all because he cheated. Yeah. Draw him closer and get to know how to please him.
Yes.
What's the secret of your longevity in business?
The secret is you don't buy what you don't need. Like myself, I was using pure water for almost 6 years. That is telephone. Some people immediately they make million. They will just go, oh, I want to buy the best telephone, iPhone, iPad. They want to buy everything. You put your money into your business and you don't borrow money to rent a house. You don't borrow money to do burial. So you borrow money to do business, and that business will become big in future. But if you borrow money and say, oh, I'm going to do this wedding in a big way, then after maybe 2 or 3 months, then you are broke. You don't even have a roof on your head. So I always tell people, you don't buy what you don't need. So by then you will be able to save money and you will be able to use your money to do what makes you happy.
Mommy, have you been able to stay strong and agile? You've been every time I see you, you look the same. You're still as strong. How? What's the secret?
Well, I wake up in the morning. My walk is my own exercise. I don't go for side walk. So, like this gallery now, I will go 3 or 4 times in a day. Wow. And I don't sit in one place. As I told you, I divide my time into 3. 1 for my work, 1 for my family, and 1 for my center. So I keep myself busy all the time. And people will say, oh, you are working on Sunday. I say, yes, ojo ikú lọ́jọ́ ìsinmi. The day you rest is the day you die. So you keep yourself occupied by doing a lot of what makes you happy. If you are a banker, and you like drawing. So after you come back from your bank, you take your pencil and you start drawing. So it makes you happy. So you do what makes you happy all the time.
What legacy do you want to leave behind?
Well, the legacy is to be making sure every family in Nigeria wear adire.
Whoa!
I want to be known for Mama Adire. So adire is coming back into fashion, which is a great achievement for me. And look at the fashion designer who said he used the symbol of adire and he won the award, the highest award. Why not us? This is a man who comes from US and he take that symbol to go with him. So the legacy is to leave this adire as it's our indigenous textile, it's our heritage. And for people to remember that their mama and their father used to wear the traditional textile. And the name of the textile is called Adi, Are, Adire.
Tie and dye. Wow, that makes, I like that. Adi, Are. Who knew? I didn't know that that's how Adire came up, you know. I didn't know Adire was derived from Adi, Are, which is tie and dye. That's so beautiful. Well, before we leave, we'd like to ask, is being an artist enough?
Well, if you are doing it to make yourself happy, not for money, it's enough. But for people who just want to do it for money, it will not be enough for them, because if they don't sell, then they will be unhappy. Me, I'm happy if little money come today, I will chop. If big one come, I will chop. So I'm happy with my work, and once you are happy with what makes you happy, it's enough. It's a job. It's enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a story, what a lesson. I'm sure you've learned and unlearned some things. We had the beautiful, the iconic, the legend herself, Chief Mrs. Nike Okundaye, the one of one, Mama Adire herself. Now, do stay tuned and watch out for the next episode. My name is Bianca Ogunwane, and of course, you know that this is The Spotlight. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you for having us. This was such a beautiful interview. We enjoyed our time with you. Thank you, ma.